Every once in a while, an artist comes along who just stops you in your tracks. For me, that's Jack Barksdale. His songs carry the weight and wisdom of someone who's lived 100 lifetimes. People call him a prodigy. Some even compare him to a young Townes Van Zandt, but at the end of the day, Jack is carving out his own path with songs that cut deep and feel timeless. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ranch Sitdown, Jack Barksdale.
Thank you, Shane. That's a very kind intro. Here's a song I wrote called Martyrs. Out in West Texas, where the dust bleaches the sky, the young ones move restlessly, trying to blind the small town eye. And the coyotes roam, and at sundown they teach you to cry. And there is no horizon, only the day and the night. Just running from nothing but the fear of nothing at all. Dying like martyrs on crosses of gravel and scar. Will they return or make their homes in the stars? Fallen stars. Out in South Alabama, there's a young boy who's questioning faith. He's scared to death about the promises that have been made. A position paralyzed by the tools of the trade. It's a long road to freedom, no matter where it shall take you. Just running from the grips of society and Father Time. Living like martyrs that the years can seldom revive. Will they remain or make their way home to the light? Like stars in the night.
The great Jack Barksdale joining us here on the Ranch Sitdown. First of all, thank you for joining us, man. Appreciate you taking some time.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. You've been called a prodigy. How do you process that when people say that?
It's very kind. I appreciate it, I guess.
Right. So, Jack, when you were growing up, what kind of music was playing throughout your household? Because you have this very eclectic kind of music, and it's, sometimes very soulful, like we heard.
Mm-hmm.
You've got some really cool bluesy, dead man walking kind of stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's like all over the map. So I feel like you were listening to just pretty much everything.
Well, my mom is a big fan of, she was raised on like country music, but was also a big fan of songwriters like, Lucinda Williams, Kevin
Mhm.
Welch, Nancy Griffith.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad, he liked all kinds of music from the 90s and, grunge and
Mm-hmm.
and rock. And and rap and all sorts of stuff. And then when I started getting into music, because they were big music fans, even though they don't play, and so I got one of those Toys R Us guitars.
Oh yeah.
One time for Christmas, and so I got some. Eventually, I asked for guitar lessons to learn how to play it.
Played the Toys R Us guitar?
I think I got a better one once I got
good.
guitar lessons. After a couple lessons, we got a good one.
Right.
Or an actual beginner guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I started, playing music, and when I started, learning about music is really when Spotify and all that kind of stuff was super available, and so I was kind of able to search all kinds of music and listen to all sorts of stuff. So that's how I found a lot of blues music. Originally through Lead Belly from my dad's Nirvana influence.
Yeah.
They did Where'd You Sleep Last Night, which Lead Belly probably has one of the most famous versions of that.
Mm-hmm.
And so from that, Spotify always it recommends other artists that are like, so.
You went down a wormhole.
Yeah, a lot of old acoustic blues music, even though Lead Belly's more folk.
Right.
So yeah, I learned about all sorts of blues, and I really started to love fingerstyle guitar playing, and I've always loved Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, and then I've gotten to some of the more I guess weird songwriters like Tom Waits and Leonard Cohen and Randy Newman.
Yeah.
So I guess I kind of play a little bit of everything because I do like a little bit of everything.
You do. Do you remember the moment where it all kind of clicked for you and you felt like, this is what I'm going to do?
I don't think there was necessarily ever one moment that was like, this is what I want to do or what I'm going to do. But there were definitely some moments where I just realized that this was really fun and that I really enjoyed it. Like when I first started getting guitar lessons, and at first it was kind of, it was kind of dragging on, and I was just learning to play, like Happy Birthday and stuff like that, and little songs like that. And I really wanted to be able to, learn how to play chords and play songs, and so the first time that I actually learned a song fully with chords and everything was a Johnny Cash song.
Really?
Give My Love to Rose.
Yeah.
And I just played along to the recording and tried to hear what was going on, and I was a huge Johnny Cash fan. Had a ton of Johnny Cash CDs and stuff. So that was the first song I taught myself how to play. And
are you one of those that can hear it and then start playing it?
Well, at that point, I only knew like 3 chords. So,
okay.
And those were the only
those
3 chords
good.
in the
3
song.
Chords, yeah.
They're the 3 chords in the song. So I was it wasn't too hard to narrow down what was happening with my knowledge at the time. But at this point, I'm a little better at being able to hear what chords are being played and stuff like that. I'm not great at it, especially anything that's super complicated. Like, I have no idea when I hear a jazz chord, no idea what it is.
I don't know that they know either. Jazz is hard.
It is, but like
hard.
simple chords, even into like somewhat like the beginner of advanced chords, like diminished chords and augmented chords. I can hear those sometimes.
That's wild. That's a skill set in itself, though.
Yeah, it's really just ear training. If you hear it enough times, you'll be able to identify it.
I listen to music all day long, and I couldn't tell you. You've got the skill set. So your songwriting is it's deep. It really is. And some would describe it as wise beyond your years, really. Do you feel like you see the world in a different perspective as other people your age?
I mean, everyone's perspective is unique, so it's hard to say. But I don't know. I've always loved the writing part of songwriting too, and so that's always been a big passion. When I first started learning to play guitar, I was also writing lyrics and trying to. Eventually, I was able to learn enough guitar where I could put the chords to the lyrics.
Oh yeah.
And so those always kind of went hand in hand for me. So I've always been interested in lyrics and words and stuff like that. And my mom's an English major, and so I was probably exposed to more words at a younger age than some people would be.
Probably.
And then also I've never been the fastest reader or anything like that, but I got to pick up a lot of things through listening to great songwriters like Townes Van Zandt, Leonard Cohen, and stuff. People like that, and a lot of those, they're just as good as any poem or short story that you could hear.
Absolutely.
So, and it's a lot more digestible sometimes. So, I don't know, maybe being exposed to that early on, or could result in something different. I've also been homeschooled pretty much my whole life, and we were talking about this a little bit before this interview, or when you're alone with your thoughts, sometimes it can be really good for art and writing, especially because it lets you really flesh out complex ideas that you might not be able to do with other people, because when you convert your thoughts into language and then pass that language to somebody else, and then they do the same to you, there's gonna be some information that's lost and some complexity that's doled out. So that could definitely be factors, but everyone's just a result of their environment. So
very true.
I'm just who I am, I guess.
That's you. So do you feel like you write more from like some observation of what's going on around you, or more imagination?
I guess you need both. Because there's a lot of a lot of observation is good. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, let's talk. I want to talk about the latest song you released, "Wealthy Man's Dead." Like, is that? What's the story behind it? Because the title is intriguing, and somebody would say, "Well, some 18-year-old kid doesn't know anything about death," blah blah blah. But like, it's not true. I mean, you witness what's going on around you, and you're very open and receptive. It seems like, to what's going on around you, no matter what age it is.
Yeah. I mean, for that song, it was you have to let your own ideas percolate as well as take in other people's thoughts and ideas, and so some of that was instigated by trying to read a little bit of like Noam Chomsky.
Oh my goodness!
And just trying to understand exactly. There's a lot of complex things in the world that I feel like it's hard to get a grasp of, and so I'm just trying to get a head start,
right?
And so one thing that I think is really interesting, and what kind of inspired that song, is that I realized that problems of economics and wealth inequality and things like that are really big social drivers. You wouldn't really think that they would have to do with things like issues of race or gender equality, but they really have a lot of ripple effects. And
they do.
There's a lot of people that take black people have been oppressed for a long time in America, and there were a lot of really unfair practices like redlining and other things like that made them not be able to financially do well. And generational wealth is a really powerful thing.
It is.
And a lot of that kind of things, when I've heard some people try to make really, I guess, kind of tasteless remarks about culture making violent people, which it can, but a lot of times it's circumstances too, and if you're desperate and you don't have all your needs met, like someone with more privilege might, then you won't be able to have the freedom to be a completely just and fair person.
But
all
that's,
the time.
I mean, that could be a broad stroke of every person on this planet.
And that can all come down to simple, economics, or maybe not simple economics, but economics and wealth inequality and stuff like that. And I think a lot of times those issues get kind of drowned out by issues that are more, eye-catching and
clickbaitish.
I guess so, but more just instead of thinking about the root causes of things, thinking about the outcomes. And it can be really easy to do that, but also it's you're missing a part of the story, and a big part of the story. And I think if people, basically the point of that song, "The Wealthy Man's Debt," is the first verse kind of goes into the easy, the easy thing, which is we all gotta stand up and get your head in the game, and understand what's going on here. And the second verse is, I guess it isn't right to talk about, when people aren't getting the proper information and aren't having the resources and the time to be able to get the proper information, then they're not going to be able to get to the root of an issue, And then the third verse goes, I'm just kind of, maybe it's just me being frustrated about, that whole cycle, than me being frustrated at the people themselves for not being able to see some of the problems that need to be fixed. Maybe it's just misplaced frustration at a system that is of news and information that allows for, not always the most accurate and hard information to be expressed to people, which, the mind runs on information.
You're right.
If you don't get the right information, you won't have the right conclusion. And then the last verse is just saying it's hard to have a just society and a perfect society. You're bound to have complications and injustices and all sorts of things, just because of how complex a society is. And so then kind of circling back to the point that we need to try to help each other recognize that wealth inequality is a problem that, if fixed, or it probably won't ever be fixed, but helped, would really clear things, in my opinion. I think we clear things up.
You're a seeker of truth. That's what you are.
But that whole song, I'm happy to hear anybody's disagreement, or healthy disagreement, argument about it. Just because I just want to know. I just want to get to the truth, or as close to the truth as you can.
Right. And see, that's something like that. Just that statement makes you wise beyond your years, because there's so many people now that, like, I value your opinion as long as it's the same opinion as mine. I mean, it's true. They don't want to have a healthy disagreement or conversation about anything, and I think that's what's making this country so divided right now, is because of that. There's just so much anger out there because people don't want to go out and seek the truth.
Yeah, really, just taking in as much information as you can and really trying to understand that information, where it's coming from, and how, trustworthy it might be or not be. That's a lot of just trying to grow your understanding of things.
Absolutely. So how has your songwriting changed from when you first started to now? Do you feel like there's been a change?
Yeah, definitely. I think, with every song it changes,
Bro, yeah.
But definitely at first I was just thinking of, you know, I really liked music
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to be doing, uh, I just wanted to be doing that because I loved it. And so, I would just kind of mimic the Johnny Cash songs or the Carter Family songs or whatever Towns Van Zandt songs that I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And, it wasn't too much more complicated than that. I just liked it a lot and wanted to be a part of it. And but then slowly, I think that just became not as good of a driver for me, and I just have slowly wanted to be doing stuff that I think is important. And so whether it's questions that I think um, that I want to try to find the answer to, and so I try to get closer with a song or something
Mm-hmm.
like that, or maybe it's something that I want to. I don't know. There's all sorts of. I guess with like the Wealthy Man's Debt song, there's a message to that song,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's an important message, and I could be wrong about that, but
It's an important message in your life right now. You
Yeah,
feel like. And that's the
exactly.
thing, and it may change a year from now. Who knows?
And so right now, I guess I'm just doing things that I think are really interesting and important to me,
Mm-hmm.
and that I think could be interesting and important to other people as well.
You'd hope so.
Yeah.
You're one of those artists I always tell people, like, you have to see Jack play live. Like, you have to see that. What does performing live mean to you?
Well, it's I have a mixed relationship with it because in a lot of ways it isn't the most ideal way to consume music, especially really, like there's Leonard Cohen songs that you have to listen to like 10 times
Right.
or more to really get a feel for them
Mm-hmm.
and really understand them. And so in that way, recorded music is really great. But also there's really a magic to and a persuasiveness to live performance.
There is.
And there's songs that I might not be able to get into on a record, but then when I see it performed, I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot more elements to live performance. You can actually see the person playing, and you can get a little more context through that in a song. Or you can also, sometimes there's stories and banter in between the song, and I don't know. Live performance is a really good way to connect with people.
It is. I love it when an artist will tell me a story about the song they're going to play, and they play it, and I go, I thought that was about something completely different. It's like my favorite thing when that happens. Do you get nervous before shows, or has it become natural at this point for you?
Well, I think because I started so young and I didn't really know what to be nervous about,
Right.
I just slowly got more and more comfortable with it, and so now it feels somewhat normal, and so I'm probably more my nerves are a little calmer than some people who maybe started later would be, and so in a way I was kind of lucky on that front.
Right, absolutely.
But then again, sometimes it's a little nerve-wracking, but usually I just try to put that into as much practice and planning beforehand as I can. Try to make it productive, which is hard to do. But ultimately, I think I got really lucky into easily being able to, over the years, I easily, slowly got more and more comfortable with it.
That's interesting. So when you're not writing or performing or doing music, do you have any other hobbies?
I don't know.
Sounds like a no.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to read more, and
Are you?
And really, writing of any kind is really my favorite thing to do. Songwriting, or like I tried writing a short story a couple months ago. I need to go back and edit it probably.
Right.
But writing poetry, writing is a.
Do you ever write songs just for yourself, ones you'll never release?
I've done that a couple times before, but who knows? Maybe I'll release them someday.
You may change that. So, what do you see like the vision for your career over the next 5 to 10 years?
Who knows?
Who knows? That's a good one. Is that the name of the next album?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, I guess it's hard to predict that stuff, but kind of where I would wish to be is just be able to keep, playing and recording and writing songs and just being able to do that and hopefully be able to play. I always love listening rooms and it's kind of the next step from a listening room is like I feel like the ultimate listening room is like a theater,
Yes.
So that's like the end goal,
right?
Is to someday be able to play theater shows and stuff like that. But right now, I've always loved listening rooms and just getting to play, cool places and meet cool people and be able to share my songs. And I also have, I love writing and recording, and so hopefully I'll keep being able to do that. And
I hope you do. I hope you do. Jack Barksdale, how about one more song, sir?
Yeah. Well, we talked about that Wealthy Man's Debt song, so I guess I'll play that.
Okay. It's top of mind.
Yep. Let me see if I'm in tune for it. I'm not in tune.
Not in tune. Okay, that's okay.
There we go.
All right.
Get a pick out.
Oh, it's getting real now. You got to pick.
But yeah, this song is just came out on all the streaming platforms and such. So here it is. The Wealthy Man's Debt. While the dollar degrades and the wages stay the same, we're all left to fight it out. While the victors point and blame, we all know that heat rises. Wealth does too. Will we stand here at the bottom and wallow in our doom, or will we cease to accept the wealthy man's debt as ours to be paid? Well, I guess it ain't right to put blame on the masses who've been preyed upon and tricked by those who own and harass us. Stockholm Syndrome on a whole population made to look past the greed among the pain and starvation can be hard to accept that the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid. I guess I'm just frustrated at the whole conversation. It's hard to build society on faulty information. No one to trust, no one to dismiss. A state of uncertainty that's sure to persist. And while we sit here upset, the wealthy man's jet is flying away. Peace and coexistence can be hard to find, but before you change the world, you got to change your mind. Money and influence, power and greed. What else is there to know? What else is there to need? It will slowly infect all the right and the left until we finally accept that the wealthy man's debt is not ours to be paid.
Such a great song. Jack Barksdale, thank you so much for chatting with us today. It's been a privilege and an honor. And
I appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Shane.
I cannot wait to see what happens next with you. Maybe go into that grunge rap stuff your dad was listening to. Maybe not.
One day.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thank you very much.